Hey, it's me. Everything alive carries within it a quiet pull toward expansion, almost like a seed that already knows what it's meant to become. At the core of this movement is a living substance, the spark of the divine, and it never stops flowing. It holds countless possibilities for expression, joy, and wisdom. So many that human words can't really capture it. Whenever that movement is blocked, a kind of break in energy and consciousness appears. The most obvious example is death. But even death is only a break in appearance. Consciousness doesn't end, it simply continues on another level, much like how sleep looks like a break, but awareness carries on in another form. The real break is only in what can be seen. The deeper current keeps moving. To move with life is to allow change. And yet, every one of us knows the pull in the opposite direction, the fear of change. Both forces live inside us. One wants to grow and open, the other wants to hold back. True self-expression always requires change. Without change, there's no new life. I mean, you can see this on the physical level. A body never stays the same. It shifts from infancy to childhood, from childhood to adolescence, then into adulthood and old age. Every stage brings visible changes in form and function. If you tried to stop this process, the body would weaken and break down. A living organism needs space to grow. Restrict its movement and life itself is damaged. The same is true for our inner life, our mind, emotions, and spirit. Yet humanity carries a very old belief that says change is dangerous. This belief has been passed down so deeply that it shapes the way we experience life. It creates a kind of inner box, so narrow that our natural expansion is blocked. Many people cling to the idea that only what doesn't change can be trusted. That belief, more than anything else, feeds the fear of death. We often think we fear death because it's unknown. But if we look closely, it's the other way around. The fear of death is really the effect of fearing change itself. When we see the unknown as threatening, we shrink. We stop breathing fully. We hold ourselves in place to avoid movement. This is the hidden condition so many of us live with. To walk a path of growth is to create a new attitude toward change. It means practicing trust in movement, seeing change as natural and good. If you pause and listen within, you'll notice the reflex that tells you safety comes from standing still. But life asks for the opposite. Safety comes from movement, from trusting that the next stage, though new, will hold more life. When you shift this, something softens. You begin to see change as the doorway to joy. You allow yourself to be carried forward into more wholeness, more creativity, more peace. Even time itself starts to feel different. Time, in truth, is a construct built out of the ongoing movement of life and our tendency to cling to the past or avoid the future. When you begin to trust change, your experience of time loosens. The fear of death loosens with it. Imagine what life would feel like if you had no fear of death, if you lived with trust in the unfolding. Your days would be full of energy and openness. The fear of death that so many of us carry is not a punishment, it's a kind of medicine. It forces us to look at where we hold back. If we let it, it can guide us toward deeper trust. As this trust grows, you no longer resist change. What once felt threatening begins to feel beautiful, even safe. Tomorrow, once feared, becomes a promise instead of a burden. The unknown shifts from something heavy to something inviting. In that space, the fear of death fades because you sense the life that continues within and beyond the body. When you start to see change this way, a new possibility opens. It's possible to reincarnate, so to speak, within the same lifetime. Every soul enters a body with a task, a plan to fulfill. Often people leave their body without completing it, and the work is carried into another life. But for someone deeply committed to growth, something different can happen. You can complete the original plan, and then instead of waiting for another life, take up a new one, here, now, in the same body. This can feel like living two lives in one, a complete shift in purpose, in expression, in experience. Sometimes new talents arise, or old ones take on a different form. It's as if you step into a second incarnation without dying. In times like these, when more people are waking up to the deeper current of life, this possibility is becoming more available. To meet it, you need to trust the unfamiliar. It's so common to cling to what's known, even if it limits you, because the familiar feels safe. But true safety comes from moving past the old fences, stepping into new ground until it too becomes home. With each step, your circle of comfort grows wider. And over time, that circle can grow so wide that the whole universe feels like home. This is what it means to live in rhythm with life, to allow yourself to expand, not just once, but again and again, until there are no more boundaries left between you and the whole. Love you. Connect soon.